All right, hello everyone, and I am coming in here real quick with a fast intro. Real time, this is being recorded on March 10th. I've been a very crazy couple months, not so great couple months to be honest. That's why you guys have probably noticed the postings have been very erratic and not getting in regularly like I used to. Unfortunately, I had timed at the same time I was playing Marius, and then followed that with a game versus General Jippy, who is another top-notch player, top platinum player. This is in the team. This was our first round of the team game. So within doing this, this whole game's completely recorded, done. I'm already in the season round 2 game, and I'm recording it already. I just haven't had a chance to post it, so I'm just going to post this as one big game. I do apologize, again, with all my craziness. I can't find UK4 and UK7. I know I recorded them. I have no idea where they ended up. But anyways, hope you enjoy this game. It's got kind of a unique twist to it. So let's see what you think. All right, so it is time for Season 3 of the Team Club. So we're going to head into Round 1. I'm going to take some highlights from it as I go along because it looks like it'll be a good one. Just a highlight because of how we do our rebalancing of the teams. I did volunteer to cut myself and was a free agent again, so I floated to my third team in 3 seasons just to take the burden off others. So here is my team now. I'm on the formerly Spitfires, now Aces High, led by Captain Armetis. Myself, we got El Capo, Conradian, and Vibodi. So Conradian also had to be cut and ended up back on my team again, so it's good to have my teammate back. We are in our first match. We're going to be playing against Panzers East. This is an expansion team led by General Jippy joining the group. Bonk CC's on their team with his YouTube videos. You got Joe Schmo, Meaty Bites, and Roanoke Raider in there. So in our first round matchup, here is our matchup right here at the upper left-hand corner. My team game is going to be Vibodi, myself, and Conradian taking on Bonk CC and Joe Schmo. I believe Bonk CC is going to be recording his side viewpoints as it goes through the game, so make sure you check out his YouTube channel as well. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be saying highlights from my side, so you can hear both sides of the story. Meanwhile, in the wild card matchup, I got matched up with General Jippy, which is a big matchup. General Jippy, he's been like top 10 or 15 both Axis and Allies in recent seasons, and he just was supreme commander of the entire solo league in the Discord, which is just an amazing feat in of itself. So he is definitely one of those top dogs that's gonna probably put me in my place here. So it'll be good to see some of his stuff as he goes. So that's where we're going to start off with today. We're going to head into starting off round 1 of the game with General Jippy here. And so this is my first game since doing the second match with Marius, where I decided to go 4 infantry, 3 artillery. So that takes by doing that, 1, that takes the pressure off Karelia, so Germany likely can stack Karelia. 2, it takes some of the bite out of the strafe on Ukraine 2 against the G-stack, the G-tank build if they go that route. But on the flip side, it's the most powerful Russia 3 attack power against dead zoning Caucasus and or West Russia. So the strength of the 4 infantry, 3 artillery comes in Russia 3. Its weakness is in Russia 2, though, for both Ukraine and Karelia, which I think everybody knew that. The question is it does the Russian 3 strength, when a lot of times Germany is looking to stack Caucasus on like G3, G2 when they can, as we saw, G3, G4 at the latest, does that extra Russia power on R3 maybe help us out? On the flip side, I've been playing around, I've been looking at the idea. Percival Haddock, I would give him credit for it, He's talked about how even before the G1 tank build become a thing, he's favored 3 artillery and 2 tank build. So what this will do, if you do all the attack strength and defense strength, this increases the pressure on Ukraine on R2, so it's going to increase the firepower on that strafe if we decide to do the strafe. And with the 2 tanks, we still have the pressure on Karelia to prevent that a little bit. So I've never played this. So when's a better time to try it than when you're playing, one of the best players? Try something new when you're playing one of the best players. So, hey, why not? Let's try something new. Perfect time. Hopefully I don't let my teammates down too much here, trying something new on stuff. As always, the honest to God truth, especially, always, but especially when I'm playing, really good players or equal players, I really hope we have relatively neutral dice round 1. I don't want super great dice. I don't want him to have super great dice, obviously. If someone has that great dice, I want it to be me, of course, but I don't want either. I'd rather have a nice, relatively neutral round 1 get through, and then let the strategies play out from there. So we'll see how it goes. Ooh, all right. Well, 3 hits. I think that's the average, if I remember right. Something like, 4 hits back is not average, though. Crud, we're already down to 5. I need 2 hits and him to whiff. Oh, come on. 1 hit. Whiff. Oh, no, we are in trouble. If I'm going to have a weak R1, I'd rather it be weak in Ukraine than in West Russia. West Russia's the worst place to be weak at. Ah, crap. I don't even know if I got enough to hold West Russia now. I got to go back and look at that. And I think that means there's no retreat option here either. Golly. It's been a while since I've had that bad of a West Russia. Erg. And of all the times to do a buy where you buy the least number of units on R1. That's an above average strike. Whiff everything. We need some majorly good dice here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw the AA in there, even though there's a very good chance he does a tank build with this poor of a West Russia. Well, I need to double check odds on if I need to throw that AA in there just because of that stupid thing. I'm going to go ahead and bring him back. We're going to still put our UK fighter in here, but again, this bad of Russian, we gotta get as many Russians back to recover from the loss of units there. So we're gonna give him the two infantry 2 fighter Sichuan. I do need to check that West Russia real quick. Not ideal, but I think I'm going to gamble it. I'm just going to go ahead and gamble it. If he wants to take the shot at it, I'm just going to gamble it. Erg. Not the way I wanted to start. I know people have had worse West Russias, so I shouldn't complain. Did I put... Oh, I thought I put 2 fighters up there. I'm like, did I put both fighters up there? What did I do? All right, well, there we go. That's the round 1. We'll see what happens from here. So here we go, continuing our game against General Jippy in the team league. This is the solo 1v1 game, though. If you remember, we had a poor Russia 1. I think I kind of rushed because I was in a little bit of a hurry when I was taking the turn. I didn't really explain. I left him odds on West Russia. Obviously, he took that attack. When I only have 3 infantry left in West Russia, I'm already putting myself well behind in the game against an equal or better player. I'm already well behind. And if you follow me at all, you're going to know when I know I'm behind against a strong player, I'm not going to wait till round 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to try to make a move to get the dice. I already know I'm going to need some dice to help me out. So I'm going to make moves that start giving odds right off the bat. So I gave him a little bit of odds there. And at the end of the day, I was a little surprised. He did take the other fighter and just went 5 into C-Zone 7. Had good luck there, unfortunately. And took the extra fighter to come back to West Russia, which meant he had to land his fighters down here. The good news for us is our AA did get a hit, it appears, so we did knock off one of his fighters. And they did not take West Russia. So a little bit of good news. Bad news is there's not very many Russians alive. Period. End of story. So it's still not in a great situation. He did a partial buy, so he bought 3 tanks and a bomber and 2 infantry, I believe it was. Is that what it was? Yeah, 2 infantry and artillery, a bomber and 3 tanks. It looks like he took his, for the battleship, he decided to keep his mini men on the mainland since he was doing these buys. So he took his units from North Africa, I believe. Is that right? It looks like that. Yeah, so he took from Libya to attack into Ukraine there. So, all in all, I think that was a favorable turn for me because the fact that he did not take West Russia and lost a fighter. The good news is he gives me a shot to be able to kill his battleship and still save my carrier on UK1, and we'll still be able to stack Caucasus so that Japan doesn't come crushing in there. If you recall, I did not move my Russian infantry over because knowing I was low on units, I decided to move them this direction, which looks like that's going to pay off because I'm just going to have enough to maybe stack Caucasus. So here we are, the situation, and this is what's going through my brain here. What am I going to do? I could go, when you have that low of Russians, you could just go KJF and hope that you can go faster than Germany. I'm coming off my games against Marius, and I learned that's, against a good player, it's going to be hard to go faster than Germany, period. So I don't know that that's a great strategy for the KJF aspect. KGF, then we've got some different factors that we want to come into. So let's say if, we could go C-Zone 37. I guess if we wanted to really go KJF, we could go C-Zone 37. The destroyer's living, so we could bring him back and do the UK1 fleet drop, and maybe we could get the drop on Germany and beat them out there. But I'm just not a big C-Zone 37 fan. I don't think I'm going to start now. So KGF, what if we end up going KGF ultimately? Again, I don't like making this as KGF decision really until the Americans' turn, U.S. turn. But if we go that, the grand strategy, what do we need? We need Russia to survive. We need them to live. That's first and foremost, right? Second, we need to get to attacking Germany quickly. We need to build fast. We need to get boats taking property very quickly from Germany. Get Germany smaller quicker. And hopefully pull them out of Caucasus if they make it into Caucasus with the tank build. We want to get them out of there as quickly as possible. And at the same time, we want to disrupt and slow the Japan maneuver as fast as possible. So that's my 3 just large thinking goals. I'll tell you, this is probably like what I learned about healthcare. Healthcare, I was told that there's 3 things you want in healthcare. You want it cheap, you want it good, and you want it fast. But only the healthcare system can only do 2 of the 3. So the American healthcare system, it is fast and good, but it is far from cheap. It is extremely expensive. Socialized medicine is good and not as expensive, but it definitely takes more time. And then there's developing countries where you can get cheap and fast healthcare, but it may not be very good. It's kind of that dilemma. You can't get it all. Similar here. I'm in that kind of the dilemma. I can't get all. It's going to be tough to get all 3 to survive, attack Germany fast, and slow Japan down. But we're going to do everything we can. Another thought that comes in my head, Germany bought the G1 bomber. So kind of like your wines and cheeses, things pair with others kind of nicely. So a G1 bomber pairs nicely with a Pearl Harbor attack by Japan. I'm not going to go in all the details. Sorry, Aardvark Pepper, if you're reading this. Not going to go into it. But just take it from my word. They pair well nicely. Doesn't mean you can't like the one by itself, though. I can always drink my wine without my cheese. So, in any case, I'd rather discourage him from doing that, especially if we do KGF. I like to keep the carrier alive, and that's going to be more things going for us. So, my UK1 twist discourages Pearl. So, that's good. It also encourages them to possibly buy something that will slow Japan down instead of 3 transports. So I'm going to stick with it, is where I'm going with all that. I'm going to stick with my twist, but we're not going to go crazy. We're not going to go fighter buy, because the only thing that he has that can hit C-Zone 8 is a bomber and a fighter, because these guys are out of play, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't do anything. It's only the bomber and fighter I got to support. So if a carrier build and 2 fighters land on it, it's perfectly fine. So I want to take that aggressive opportunity to buy a second transport for UK right off on UK1. When I see that opportunity, I cannot pass it up. So we're going to go that route. So here we go. We're going to buy an artillery because we had a lot of money for down in India. We're going to buy a sub for down here. We're going to buy a transport and a carrier for up in the Atlantic. Since I'm going to have 2 transports here, I like the idea of having 4 units ready to go next turn. So this is one of the cases I am going to go ahead and take that tank to drop here. A lot of times I'd like to save the tank, but in this case I'm going to go ahead and use that tank. We're going to take all 3. We really need to win this. Again, we're behind. Period. Nothing else we can say about that. We are behind. We got to take some risk. So, we're taking the 3 on the 3 there. Now, we have odds. So, hopefully they go well. Because we don't want a sub to live and him have fighter, bomber, and a sub with just my carrier and fighters and my transport sitting there. So we're going aggressive. We are hoping for good results from it. I'm a little bit torn here. We could go ahead and attack into this direction and chase Germany since they went small, but then that also restricts us from getting back in time. So I don't think we're going to chase them into Libya. We're just going to hold Egypt, I think. We do want to make sure we do this guy. And I believe that's the extent of our attacks here. unlikely. What? We've got 5 defense strength with 3 hit points. We've got 8 attack power, or 5 defense power, 8 attack power, same number of hit points. I don't know why they got unlikely there. Oh. Okay, breathe, Chris. And let's try this again. Okay, I'm breathing a little bit better. There we go. Okay. I'm breathing a lot better. Nice. And one more good round of dice. Come on. Good. That was an extraordinarily good round for UK. I will definitely take all of that. We lost a med destroyer, but I am not heartbroken about that at all. Let's just do that. So the fighter and bomber can still come here. So we still, this version of the twist here, we still have the 34-32 dead zone going on. So that's still true. 34 a little bit more so. What we don't have is the 30. So he can hit the battleship into 30. And I really don't have any counter to that. The only good thing with that is it does separate them a little bit. So if we were to go to KJF, it does give us a little awkward play for him on J2. But, yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm debating throwing the AA in here. Doing this move. Kind of tempted to do it. We did leave the one guy up there. We're trying to... See, that's the thing, though, is if we do that, then it encourages him to use his fighters elsewhere. I don't really want him to attack here. I don't really want him to attack Pearl. I actually want him to use his fighters elsewhere and not start thinking, well, I got to use this somewhere. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. All right, so I'm not actually going to end the turn. I'm going to message General Jippy, make sure he's good with this and understands if he wants to attack C-Zone 33, that what our steps that we can go through are. So I got to leave it in this stat for the end of the video, but just know this is the plan here. Okay, speed turn. I don't have time to explain everything, but we can't do KJF. Reason being, he did Pearl Light, so 4 units. Had a really what I consider a perfect strike where only his sub died, and he killed the fighter on the carrier. So that went well. He was able to kill the cruiser without any losses. So he's got all 6 fighters sitting on here. So even though he did a 3 transport build, which is normally my trigger, go KJF, I think we're going to have to stick with KGF at this point. Furthermore, that means India is going to be problematic come J3, but we'll deal with that later. Because he did kill Pearl, and I am going to use my destroyer to go ahead and kill his cruiser with the air, it does mean that I'm going to go ahead and do the destroyer build in the Atlantic instead of 3 transports. So that's pretty much it. I know a lot of people now are going ahead and sacrificing the transport and destroyer. You know what? I think I am going to as well as I look at this, because we're going to retreat. It'd be nice to be able to kill these guys kind of quick and easy. So nope, I want him in range of those guys. This guy will be able to hit here, come back, and then catch on to the carrier as it goes out. Do I want to take the 2 infantry, 1 fighter shot at the 3 fighters for one round? I'm kind of tempted. Because we're just going 2, 3, 4. We're just going back to here for defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chances of all 3 getting a hit on the first round. I'm not goofing anything up by playing too quick here. I gotta go a little quicker. Gotta get my turn in. And I gotta get ready for work. Come on, dice. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's dangerous to play when you're in a rush, because that's when you make stupid mistakes, so. And you'll notice I'm taking risk. I'm probably going to take a risk in Russia's turn 2, just because I just feel behind. I feel like we're going to have a hard time with Germany. Maybe I'm worrying too much. All right, got 1 fighter out of the board. Ooh, for 2 infantry. Guess that's one thing I didn't consider is if the KJF, I could have done that as part of a KJF strategy. Oh wait, nope. Destroyer, come back. going 4-4. We're going to have 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm not going to think this out right now. We're just going to do it. I don't got time to think. I am going to take the shot on here, I think. Got to give my unit something to do. Nice. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10 coming in there. We're going to have 4, 5, 6, 10. I think we keep them alive. We're going to retreat. Not sure if it's the right answer, but we're gonna do it. We're bringing them all back. We're giving Japan freedom over there, unfortunately. Let's see, we're 1 and 1, so let's go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, and I've got to run. Okay, so we are continuing. This is the game against General Jippy in our teams game. Excellent matchup already, and shoot, I am already feeling the heat, and it's only UK2. So the quick recap so far, we had a bad Russian 1. Only 3 infantry survived in West Russia. But then we had a really good UK 1 with the C-Zone 7 and C-Zone 16 battles. And then they had a really good J1 where they did a 4-unit attack on Pearl, only lost the sub and killed my fighter with the carrier there. As well as took out my cruiser down here. And so that brings us kind of up to speed here. So now this is what we're facing. We're going to be stacking Caucasus, but we're also trying to see if we can keep West Russia dead zoned. I don't think that's going to really be an option, but if they take it, I think we'll be able to take Karelia. We'll be able to put enough pressure on Karelia that he'll have to concede one for the other. We did kill one of his J fighters that he had sitting here with the 2 U.S. infantry and fighter strike there. So that decreases his reinforcements a little bit, but then again, he's going to be able to fly more planes in to Yunnan, excuse me, and then they'll be able to fly in. So I don't know where exactly we're going to go with this. I don't know that we can dead zone West Russia, unfortunately, is the bad news. And then letting them get into West Russia on G3 just feels so horrible. I ain't going to lie. But if we get enough pressure up here, maybe we can keep them out of Caucasus at least. Maybe we can get a Kaza stack for the counterplay of it and hopefully keep Japan pushed back. So Japan is going to be facing 2 options on their J2. Either they come and stack Burma and push for a J3. They can buy 2 bombers and that would give them 3 bombers, 5 fighters, and then all the goods that go with it. So that's a concern. Because I did do my sub buy, it does, and he did a 3 transport buy, and I still went KGF. Normally, a 3 transport buy is my signal to go KJF, but that Pearl, and him taking out the cruiser so I can't block, I just didn't feel comfortable going with the KJF. But that puts me down 2 units for the India defense on J3, and not only that, I'm salivating. I got the possibility of having all of North Africa conquered by US2. I'm salivating at that, so I'm going to have to take a shot at that. So it's going to make India very tight, or Japan could choose to come straight up the center and put pressure this direction, and already have J3 pressure on causes of 7 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 tanks, 5 fighters, and a bomber. So they can put a ton of pressure up there. So we'll need as much as we can get to defend that as possible. And that's going to be partially what's going to lead to my purchase that you're going to see here in just a minute. Let's see. They won't be able to. We'll be up there 1. So we'll have those guys. So if we have, I'm just doing some quick mental math here in my head. So yeah, 9. So we got 5, 8, 9. Yeah. So if oh no, shoot, that doesn't work either. I'll have to recalculate here in just a second. My dinner is ready, so I want to get this turned out of the way real quick, and I've been looking at it for a while, so here we go. We're just going to speed through it. We're going to take Finland. We're not going to build another transport, so we're going to have 2 left over. That's going to leave us a tank sitting back here, so we're going to build 3 infantry to go with it for our two transports. We're going to have a fighter going there, and we're going to put 3 tanks in India. 1 because they give more defense, their defense power or defense strength of 5 versus 4 of infantry artillery, and they give equal attack strength to dead zone Burma here. So I'm going to make it so he has to take all 4 transports into C Zone 36 if he wants to stack Burma, and if he does, I should be able to still defend India at least at 50% odds on the J3 possibility. So 3 tanks give me both the dead zoning capability here, as well as hopefully being able to come back. Plus, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters that can reach for UK to help stack against a J3 attack. Now, we'll have to be able to land some Russians. We'll have to pull Russians back, and I'm not sure if we will be able to, because we don't want to let our... well, we might be able to pull them back because we're getting ready to pull the UK out of here. So we could pull Russia back and give up Caucasus as long as we can dead zone it. If we can get a Kaz stack, we'll see. Not sure where all that's going to go. It's going to depend on how J plays on J2. So here we go. We're just going to play it out real quick here. And we're going to use the... transport up here. We're going to grab these guys. We're going to dump the A. We're going to keep the tank back here. We're going to dump the AA up there too, in case they decide. We're just going to put all 4 units. US will end up taking the Norway spot. I could use UK to go up this way, but this infantry is part of the critical defense of India. India is very thin, so we are not going to do that because I want to do this. And if I can get this down to at least, well, down to 2 at the very least, but hopefully down to 1, then the U.S. tank can blitz and the fighter can clean up. That's the hope. We also got the U.S. bomber that could help with that too if we have to, and even this U.S. fighter could get into it, although this U.S. fighter likely is going to need to get back to India. We could use the U.K. fighter attack here, but then he'd have to stop here, and he could not help dead zone Burma, and we need him for helping dead zone Burma. As you're going to see, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice this transport just to get enough back into India to make Burma a tough choice for him. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm rushing because I want to get to dinner. We're not going there. We're not going there. We're going up that way for this turn. Yep, we're going to go with it. We just don't, we'll make sure we don't lose our bomber. That is the key part here, but we're hoping for some good dice and wipe these guys out nice and clean. Let's get 2 hits right off the bat. Ooh, the infantry hit. Ooh, 3 hits. Oh, yeah. Oh, super nice dice to us. So, really feeling the heat of the weak R1 in the center of the board, and then him wiping West Russia. But UK's been having some good dice, so I cannot complain about that at all. So this is what some people might say, what the heck? Just want to double check that we got submerge all defenders. Good. Because that 2 subs together is considered a fleet. So if you only have submerged solo subs, they could attack, kill 1, and then it would submerge. But because I have submerged with fleet, it should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shoot, that bomber can reach now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's no fun. But it's not as critical since I'm not keeping my transport alive anyways. So we'll just head out that way. So he's got 11. We're going to take out that guy. 12 coming in. We will have... Unless he pressures India. If he pressures India, it's going to be problematic. But if he doesn't, we'll have 3, 5... 11 plus a build, so we should be good defending there. If he pressures India, then we have to make a decision. So I definitely don't want to land him in there. Over here, his bomber's way over there, so we're okay. This bomber, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no really where to go. Japan could come in here, but Russia's would take it back, so bomber should be safe there. Oh, don't want to forget about this guy. Good old flexible tanks. There we go. Okay, we got Japan 2. Went 1 transport, 3 artilleries, 4 infantry. They did go up here and take Alaska. Unfortunately, he did position his battleship in case they have any survivors to threaten West USA. And he came into Sea Zone 36 to get his carrier and battleship back to safety as it is. Did not bring any transports in there. He does have his 3 transports sitting here, and we did successfully push him into China for better or worse. I don't know. We've got to figure that out still. And sorry about the jump there and time. I had to pause for a little bit and just come back to the game. In any case, I'm not sure where I was actually talking about when I left, but the things that we're looking at here is, one, we want to make sure we keep Caucasus stacked so that Germany doesn't take it this turn. Ideally, two, we would be dead zoning West Russia. Unfortunately, with his 218-522 plus these two fighters and this fighter and bomber that can all reach West Russia, dead zoning is not a possibility. So if I'm not going to be able to dead zone West Russia, then I either want to put some pressure on Karelia or on Kaza. I need to have something payback wise for it, if you will. So I was thinking about pulling the tanks back to Moscow, bringing these guys in, and pressuring, because he would really need to have everything come in here in order to, with the Russian build, in order to stack West Russia, he'd need everything to come in, including the J fighters, and you have to be using these guys other than like maybe 2 units could stay back. And if only 2 units stayed back and 2 units were built, that'd be 4. And we've got these UK plus the 4 they could pick up, bringing us, what is that, 7 plus 3 is 10 units into there. And so we could pressure Karelia, so he'd have to give up Karelia to get into West Russia. Other option is I can get enough back into Kaza, takes pressure off West Russia, so he'll be able to hold Karelia, but I could stack Kaza against the Japan expansion. And I think I'm going to lean more towards 2 here to stacking Kaza, because once these 7 more units come in, it's going to get really hard to stack, I think, after that. So, plus the Kaza stack means I'm going to have a lot of UK coming in, UK coming back to help kind of dead zone Caucasus. So he goes here G3, but hopefully we can keep Caucasus dead zoned. I haven't really planned out that far ahead, but hope is a big word here. So what we're going to do, we're going to buy 7 infantry and a tank and a pair of transports. The 7 infantry and the tank is a little bit overkill, but it means I'll have a couple extra units to put in here just in case something survives here and we need them to stack over on this side. So that's what we're going to do. While we're over on this side of the world, I am going to take a stab here. And we're going to go through here. And hopefully it's not the U.S. sacrifice. Actually, I decide I'm going to leave the artillery back just in case I need to go back that direction. And then have an artillery tank pressuring Alaska. Where's this bomber over here? Okay, it's way over there. Not a factor. But we do want to go ahead and grab that. And I think that's all our U.S. attacks. 2 rather critical attacks here, the bombing run and the attack on Alaska. Well, bombing run is like critical, but we need some help. We need some weakening of Germany. All right, Mals, when we want to see those 6s. All right, 5's good. How about a 6? 5s. All right, we'll take 5s. We'll take 5s. By all means. That's an artillery or an AA or something like that we took out. We'll take that. Got one hit. Let's see some whiffs. Ooh, I was a little worried there. Oh, is it worth it? Let me think about this a second. We've got the UK, if presuming we get a hit, we got the UK guy coming back. We've only got the one carrier out here. He's got one unit that could come back. Yeah, so you could put 2 units on there. We'll have the artillery tank, and then we'll have our one fighter hanging out. But if we don't attack him, if we retreat, we're only going to have the artillery. We're only going to have 3, and he could come in there. And this could become a headache. I'm going to go for it. No, that's not what we needed to see. Okay, now our fighters are ready and primed and ready to go. And this tank can't hit the backside of a barn. All right. Oh, that is lucky as all hell. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta be happy when we get lucky too, I suppose. Sometimes it feels bad, but I still feel like I'm trying to make up from that R1. So now the UK guy will take it. He could come back, but we'll have artillery, tank, fighter to counter. And so hopefully we can just get this. I've been in games with mats where we just kept going in circles here. I really don't want to do that again. So hopefully this will kind of get this shut down. Our build will shut it out. Then we'll be good. We want that fighter to stay. Got him up there. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 for those guys. We need 2 for him coming back. And that lets me put an infantry and a tank over here. So we're going to get 21 next time, so we're just going to get the 7. So I think we will go ahead and buy those couple extra artilleries for just a little extra firepower for right now. Now I'm conceding West Russia. Feels bad. I hate conceding West Russia on G3. That just it's just feels bad. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Baiting whether go ahead and put 3 in here, so then he'll just be able to hit it and hit it. Let's see, what else are we going to have? It's going to be Germany's turn. He's not going to have anything else to strike. So, yeah, I think we don't even do that. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units striking at it. We're going to put 4 down here. We're going to be building 3. And let's just be smart. Let's consult. We need 7 units here. We're building 4, so... Might be better to have 8 units, to be honest. 3, 4, 5... 5 units is what I felt like I needed here. No, let's not do it. Alright, heading into round 3, and I did a dope move, but anyways, Germany purchased 13 infantry, repaired 3 of the damage that we did on the bombing run, and the dope move was forgetting that he had a bomber in France, which means I lost a transport. At least there's only 1 transport in C-Zone 10 that was just chilling. You know, that... It's just a silly thing that you're mindful of it, and you're always aware of it, and then slowly over time you just kind of dull and forget, and then that will remind you again. But we didn't sacrifice the transport to take Norway, which is as usual, so we sacrificed the transport in 10 instead of in 3. It is what it is. It's a mistake. It's a costly mistake, but it could have been worse, I suppose. I could have had 3, 2, 3, 4 transports sitting there. Then that would have been really making me not so happy. So, in any case, he's stacked into West Russia. He's only got 14 units there compared to my 10, 12, 16, 17. So that tells me he's certainly going to be putting some Japan air in there. He really needs at least 2 planes to make it comfortable, I believe. So, and really that needs to be 2 fighters. I shouldn't say 2 planes, because it could be a fighter bomber, but a fighter bomber still has a potential of being profitable for, actually the average result is profitable for Russia. So I got a feeling, so to me it's like he's going to put 2 fighters in there. Well, he's got 2 fighters sitting here already. He's got 1 here. So maybe he puts 2 fighters there and 1 in Italy. Italy's tempting right now. We could hit that with 2 fighters, a bomber, 2 units, and a cruiser. And I think that may be worth the shot at it. So he may be planning on putting a fighter there. 1 fighter and 1 bomber out this way. Pressure's 13 a little bit, because I'm planning on bringing my battleship there, because that's why I'm going to move my UK transport here, presumably for the battleship to cover it in case these guys go into the Med. Now, depending on where he does his Japan air may determine whether we do that or not with these guys. So, but we should have the UK transport covered one way or the other. So, any case, lost a transport to a silly mistake, which is why I'm not going to take the transport to C-Zone 10, as I normally do, because I don't really want to take any of these boats back that direction. I want to take these boats this way. Does mean I need to be mindful of my U.S. turn, that these transports either come down to 13 or they go up to 1, not 2 or 10. So, got to remember that. In any case, moving along, we're going to buy 5. So, we want to stack cause. We also want to make sure we keep India defended. So, funny thing about India, I'm actually going to give him... Let's see if I can pull the calculator up here just so everybody can see. Because this is one of those ones that I do calculate to be on the safe side, because it's an important battle. I am technically going to be giving him, here we go, J3 India. Actually, we're not going to have the bomber in there. We're going to give him a 69% chance to take India. Let that sink in for a second. A 69% chance we're giving him, but at a negative 12 value, meaning he's going to have to trash some of his planes probably. So there's going to be some fighters getting lost in doing that. Additionally, that means he'll be taking it with one. These 3 transports will all have to be out of place. They'll be sitting out here. He'll be taking it with 1 unit to take it with. And, yeah, sorry, I got distracted. 1 unit taking it with, and I'm going to have 3 tanks, 3 UK tanks, 3 UK fighters, and a bomber sitting here. So 7 units that could come back and retake India the following turn. So it would cost him having 3 transports out of turn. It'll cost him air to get 1 shot, 1 round of holding India. So I'm willing to do that. So that's what we're going to be willing to do. So we're going to build an infantry, a tank, and a fighter into India. The other thing that we have on our radar is, obviously we're going to have to abandon Caucasus, is trying to dead zone it from letting Germany go in there, because I really don't want Germany to take Caucasus and stack it and be able to start building there. I think we get enough here, plus our Russian build, plus the fact that we'll have an infantry, 3 tanks, 3 fighters, a bomber, plus another tank and fighter being built here, dead zoning into it. So I feel like we're pretty good. And actually, nope, those fighters won't be relevant. So feel pretty good about our dead zone. I didn't actually run a calculator on it, but I just mental math says I think we're okay. This guy can't hit anything interesting. It'd be nice if he could hit these transports. That would have been lovely. Unfortunately, he cannot. He did cover up his fighter with his UK fighters there nicely. So, unfortunately, he really doesn't have anything useful to do, which kind of, well, it stings. So, nothing coming out of him. We're going to use one of these fighters here. One of these fighters is coming on down over this way. Oh, let's not let the dice gods get a moment. I was just considering the idea of maybe we should go into 5, hit there, and then take there with our other one. Take the Baltic states. That still gives him 5 to attack. I think we'll hold off on it this turn, because he could 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I mean, it'd be kind of silly, I would think, to just take those 2 Japan fighters into there. You know what? Where do I want to put my tank at, though? I feel like I'm okay with trading, having him trade units up here. Four, six, we could come back with. Yeah, I feel like I'm happy trading with him over here, so I think we'll do that. I forgot we're going to have this tank coming back for India and Caucasus too. Oh, thank goodness I looked. That's why I put that. You'll know how often I use map notes. That's why. Alaska, I forget about Alaska way too much. Y'all can't do anything really interesting either, right? No, nothing. Oh, gotta be careful there. Don't want to give him a free shot with his carrier, or his bomber at my carrier there. Alright, I'm going to be annoying. I'm putting a sub in there, and I'm putting a sub in here. And if anyone's going, you know, what are you doing? This is not a bug. This is it's within the rules of the game, and it is actual on the written board game. So this is fine. The reason I want to do this is he's got one destroyer. I got two subs. So this sub is now threatening all three of these C zones. All of the 63 technically. And this sub is also threatening both 60 and 62 and 61. So both of them are threatening all three. He can use his destroyer to kill any one of these. And then the other one will live, and we could use a destroyer bomber. So, oh wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that does mess with my play a little bit by putting the bomber up there. If I put the bomber down here, I forgot about that. That'll give me the sub bomber to kill the destroyer if he was to go there. It's just that the odds. Let me pull that guy up again real quick, because I am just the Kaza stack. If we don't have the bomber there, It's a little more tempting. Do we change our plan with our subs? No, I'm still gonna do it. If he kills one of them, the other one's still threatening because, you know, if he kills this one, that one's threatening. He kills this one can go through 61 to 60, 62. So he needs to pull all his boats back and protect them. So I'm gonna leave it like that, even though I can't counter it. I mean, even if I had the bomber down here, he could just use destroyer battleship into this sea zone or into this sea zone, and he'll be fine anyway. So. Could we do anything more annoying with these guys? So that's the real question. We want to be annoying with our subs. We're not going to be hugely hitting with them, but I don't think there's anything better we can do with them. And I didn't need to stay in Season 3 because there's not another transport coming, U.S. transport coming up there this turn. Next turn I'll probably need to go in there, but I want to grab money when I can grab money. Alright, that's the end of the turn. Alright, so you can see we're going to build a bunch of transports. We're going to build an industry, and we'll get us 1 infantry. So 3 transports and 1 infantry? What are you thinking, Chris? Well, what I'm thinking is this guy is going to go into the med because we are going to go ahead and try and smoke these guys. These 3 guys are coming down here to Morocco. This guy is coming back. We can't be careful because of the bomber. We're not going to make that mistake again. But this guy's going to come back here, and so we've got 2 guys left here because he's going to take 4 of them with him. So we've got 2 guys. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 guys, 8 units on the mainland that can transport over. So we could fill 4 more transport. Here comes number 1. I'm building 3, and we're building an extra infantry. Why is that? Because he does still have 1 infantry and a battleship. We can't completely abandon WUSA, West USA. So we're going to leave a tank here that can run up here next time to meet the transports coming that way. And then an infantry there. The extra infantry is going to go here while this guy can move. This infantry can move forward. So that we've got some units to move around there. So we'll figure out all that, but we should be able to have enough units. We'll be able to have an infantry and tanks still hanging out over here in West USA to protect it from these guys. The tank will be able to go back, although, maybe he gets lucky with 1 guy, maybe he doesn't. So, I guess what I didn't say is see what Japan did. I didn't go back and see what Japan did. So Japan bought a complex themselves, put it up there in Manchuria, 3 artilleries, 5 infantry, so he's got 8 units sitting there. He's got 5 boats, but this boat's going to be picking up guys off the islands, so he'd like to take those guys. He did. It looks like he killed my 1 sub with a carrier destroyer. This was my one regret. If I'd put my bomber in India, then I would have a nice little counter here, but because I had to put my bomber over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we got nowhere to land. And U.S. can't open up any, U.S. and Russia doesn't have anything they can open up to create a landing spot. So, so let's see, he did the 48, which we saw. Vinkai, most of this was just taking empty stuff. Novo taking empty stuff. He did attack Burma, got it with no losses. So there we go. That's what they did. combats. I believe we've only got the one combat this turn. I could grab the tank, but I prefer to blitz that tank on up and get help that one that way. I didn't run the calculator on this, but it just says, my brain just says we need to take the shot. So we're going to take the shot. Because I do, I'm still feeling like we're playing from behind with us giving up Germany. I'm giving up West Russia, Germany on Germany 3, losing a transport. So we're still feeling a little bit behind, but a nice good shot on Italy would be helpful. Let's see. I probably should, for the sake of this, do a run of it. So we put 2 infantry, 2 fighters, a bomber, and a cruiser versus 3 infantry. Pretty sure that's what we did. 62% chance to take it with a 4-point profit. So my mental math was okay. Any other attacks? Any other attacks? We're just gonna be dropping units down there. We're gonna get. I hate when the bomber's in France, and unfortunately the bomber's in France. So for at least at the beginning here, we're gonna get the march going of units to hopefully stream into Casa before it breaks. And then we're putting I like having the factory up here because I can still be dropping some U.S. infantry, building some U.S. presence up here, even while doing Mediterranean type stuff. And I do feel like we're going to need to build another carrier, and then I can just drop a carrier straight in number 3, and we're going to have 2 fighters up on the north that I could go into next turn. Is that all the attacks? Is that really all the attacks? That's all the attacks. Come on, cruiser. If we ever need you, we need you now. Don't fail me now. Get that hit. There we go. 2 more hits. 2 more hits. One more hit. Bomber. How's a bomber gonna fail you? All right. Thank you for saving me, bomber. 5, 6. We'll take it. All right. That's a nice win. One of the reasons it's nice win is it means these can't attack now. They could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4 and drop a carrier. I don't think he would have done that even if we hadn't taken Italy. That's why I was willing to go for it. We do still have the 3 fighter and a bomber that can attack me, so we do want to make sure we get our complement of units over here. We'll move him on over that way. That fighter crosswalking across Italy with the 2 fighters that are on the carrier. So there's 2 carriers. The infantry makes 1. Oh, that's right. The tank will blitz over. We'll have to have one of the transport to go up to route to C zone 1 next turn. Or hang tight, or just take 1 infantry. Oh, shoot, don't want to forget about these guys. We want you guys moving on along. All right. I believe that's it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 he could hit with. You know what? We could leave that destroyer back just in case we want to pivot with him. Let's do... Oops, nope, that's not what I want. So that would give me 8, 13. He could attack with 16. For 1 transport. We'll take those risks. But this allows me to be able to pivot the destroyer, you know, to help the UK out or to come back over here. So I think we'll keep him that back. Alright, pretty easy build over here. I think that's going to be our only attack because we do want to defend Moscow and here, so we're not going to mess with Ukraine, unfortunately, because we need the units to be able to do both of these. Well, or do we? We are going to be able to build that carrier with these 2 fighters up here, so we don't necessarily need as many hit points up that way. So we could fly these other 2 fighters back. Nah, I think we're going to... stick with the plan. Man, it would be nice to take out that AA gun, though, why it's nice and easy. Let's see if we can pull this off still. Yeah, it's just too tight, and we may need to be defending India. I hadn't really calculated that out with everything I was doing, so I think we're going to hold off on this. As much as I really want to do that, I think we're just going to have to let that slide at this time. Very good. we should have 5 and 1, 5 and 1, 2 and 2. Looks good. So we're actually giving him a 48% shot on Moscow. So don't think I'll take it, but I'm giving it to him. But I do think we've got enough between all our getting our infantry and all our tanks and UK air, and even these guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 2 fighters are in it. We've got the Caucasus dead zone, so from Germany. So that's a victory for us. So we'll take it. So I believe we got Caucasus dead zone, Kazakh stacked, India stacked. So at some point he's going to have to retreat back up to Karelia because I'm starting to put some pressure there, or he's going to lose Karelia. So I think we're going to get him back in, him push into Karelia, and we'll get into a more traditional race here. So looks like we may have averted the horrible future start, but again, I still feel behind. That being said, I guess here's the we built 7 infantry, so we were at 162. So yeah, so we were 10 points behind, and they're sitting at 78 income already. So that's why I feel a little behind. All right, so this game is playing out kind of interesting. Japan did buy 7 infantry, 3 artilleries, and a transport. Put a transport up here by 60. Took Pearl here. They're at 8 of 9 victory series. We need to be mindful of that. We don't want to go losing India or West USA or Moscow. Italy, although we are going to hopefully take Italy back, so that'll get us back in the safe zone as well. So we should not be in trouble there, but this is the time when, you know, these few rounds is when Axis gets the closest, and we got to be mindful of it nonetheless. Combat move, so Hawaii just walked into Vologda, took Novo with no losses, and he did shoot for my C-Zone 3 with his bomber. I have to admit that was a little bit of an oversight by me. I knew his fighters couldn't hit, and I forgot to pay attention to his bomber being able to go out there. Had I known that, I probably would have had the second one stay down here with this transport and just go in here for the 2 extra and just had the 1 in there. But, you know, whatever. Thankfully, as you can see, we survived. He did not, so we got lucky there. And then he had 2 infantry artillery attacking Burma there. And Burma, he killed 1, didn't lose any. No losses. The attacker lost a bomber, so no losses in Hawaii. So unfortunately, all the other battles didn't have any losses, but I'll take it for that bomber. That bomber off the map is a nice little bonus. So now, things that immediately go into my mind. Okay, we need to protect India on J5. I was putting 4 on everything. Actually, going to be J5. So we got to protect India from J5. He's got 4 of these. If we take Burma, that means only 4 fighters. If we don't take Burma, then he has 5 fighters that can hit India, and then his battleship. So that's what we put into our calculations to figure out what we need there. I am going to want to bring 1 fighter with the bomber, so we have 2 fighter or 2 air hitting here at least. So we'll have 1 fighter coming down, but then that leaves Kaza. So we got to be mindful of his 11 infantry, 6 artillery, 1 tank, and 5 fighters that can hit Kaza. I looked at keeping Russia as is. We should be okay. Bringing Russian tanks down here though, as well as probably Russian air. I believe I calculated Russian air coming into here. So yeah. So we did all the number crunching and one of these fighters coming over. And we should be okay there. What I really want to do, though, is get a couple of these UK tanks and fighters now back to India for the protection so that we could push a few of the infantry out to start walking them this way, because, we can't just keep buying enough fighters and tanks for UK to keep stacking Kaza, and Jay is going to be, dropping 8 units a turn coming in this way. So I would like to be able to push some of these guys out. And having tanks and fighters allow an immediate exit from India all the way back up to here, as well as continue to dead zone Caucasus, of course. So, yeah, all that's the play. I didn't calculate whether if these 4 tanks blitz through and they push all this German stuff into Caucasus and then landed the 5 fighters there, could they stack there? My instinct tells me probably not. They got 12, 16, 21. We're building 6 Russians, so we're going to have like 23, 25, 27, 36. So, yeah, I don't think they can do it, which is good. And unfortunately, right now we're going to keep this push. They're going to keep holding West Russia, but I'm going to do it for holding Caucasus. I could push back and try to push them out of West Russia, but then I would have to give up Kaza, and I don't really want to do that. I'm fighting for Kaza. So all of that had to be figured out to know how many fighters I needed to get over this way from the U.S., knowing that the tank's going that way, and what all I needed to help stack Kaza with to determine what I'm going to do over on this side of the map. So that being said, we're buying a bunch of ground, and we're buying that carrier up for C-Zone 3. I wanted to buy a fighter, but we didn't have enough money to do that too and keep the shucking going efficiently. But we'll be flying these 2 fighters into C-Zone 3. The shucking is what got a little bit complicated here, and I had to kind of really think this through. So I'm going to take one of these transports in and use this transport to hit these 2 guys. You know what? As I think about this more, I was worried about the potential of J1, 2, 3, 4. But as I think about this, it might solve some of my issues if I'm not taking 1 transport back. Let me think. So, because then, if I brought 2 transports in and 3 transports, use 2 on Italy, 1 on South East Asia, then I don't have to worry about these J fighters, even if they, because I was worried that, Germany could stack on their own, fighters could go 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I take both of them, fighters can't do that, and Germany's out of position. So I could send both these fighters that direction too, which is what I wanted to do initially, just to help push some of these guys over and UK coming out, or infantry coming out. So if we did 4 infantry, a battleship, and a cruiser versus 2 infantry, I shouldn't even have to use any fighters, and I could send 2 out that way. And I wouldn't have to build as many ground. I wouldn't need 2 ground for the 1 transport coming back this turn. And I think I was building an infantry up here. If we minus the 1 infantry I was going to build in Norway and instead build another fighter there, then I could actually blitz this fighter straight down. And that would give me at least a fighter hitting there as well. And then I would still have 2 fighters for landing on C-Zone 3. I need 2 infantry and a tank in West USA to protect from the battleship. So that's just what 2 of that is. And so that gives me 2 infantry and an artillery that I'm building now over, or actually I'm going to put in artillery over there. three infantry I'm building in East USA right now. Now, how did I get to 3? Now I got to double check myself. So 1, this transport going over is going to need to come back. And he needs an infantry. And hopefully, and we're going to move this tank over, or we're building a tank that can then come over. If they don't take Alaska. If they take Alaska, then he's only going to have 1 infantry and the tank's going to have to do its thing. So that'll take care of him. And actually, we'll have 2 infantry there. Because we'll have the infantry. If they don't take Alaska, we'll have this infantry will be able to walk over. We'll have the infantry we're building that could walk up. And that leaves 2 infantry sitting here for the 1 transport coming back. Because 2 transports going in. So yeah. That would do it. Now the question is, would 11 IPC be spent better? We can't squeeze out another transport efficiently at this point, so no use in building more and more men. I could build the fighter here, not use the one to cut through. 1, 2, 3. And that would give me an infantry, a tank being built here, and a fighter. To threaten there in case he decided to be funny and bring his 2 transports up, which he very well may because of what I'm going to do. So I think I'm actually going to build my fighter over here in East USA where it could strike Alaska if needed be, or, you know, it could fly 1, 2, 3, 4 out to Sea Zone 3 next turn. And if we take this anyways, we still don't need our fire, so we're just going to take the 4 infantry versus 2 infantry battleship cruisers. We should still have good odds there. So, all right. So that was a lot of talking out, changing on my mind as I go. Hopefully I didn't just talk myself right into something stupid, because I probably did, because I do like to do that. When I make changes on the run, that's a good way to make things go screwy. All right. So, 1 guy doing that. 1 guy coming in here. Another guy coming in here. Cruiser. Battleship. I think that's our only attack. Do we want to use our bomber? We could strike at... I really didn't have any plans for you. Ooh. We could use you for that, actually, now that I'm looking at this. I was going to do a bombing raid, but I think I'd rather just take this efficiently. And then I can land him here, leave my infantry here. I mean, he could try to strike him if he wants, but... I'll take that risk. The bomber versus infantry bomber. He's going to have other... he's not going to have a lot of other, actually, of things to attack. He's probably going to continue to nail that guy and that guy. He'll have fleets he can attack if he wants. Yeah, I think we're going to use the bomber back that way. I'd rather risk his bomber getting me than on the SBR and just make sure I take Italy thoroughly. Oh, well, yeah, that's right. He's going to have these 2. He's going to have to take back 2. So I don't think he'll take that shot. Hindsight, if I hadn't changed my buy, I could have done this with just one transport. But we'll take it heavy, make him take it heavy, maybe make him do a stack move off of France. Who knows? We'll trade heavy with him. And we'll be happy with it. All right. Good job, Battleship. Yeah, see, we didn't even need the bomber, but all good. We'll be happy with it. Yeah, make him send some units this way if he wants Italy back. Tank's gonna go on up through there. He's gonna come on down here. He's gonna go there. He's gonna go there. You know what? He wants to do it. Let's do it. We'll keep giving him units to trade, but I'm hoping he has to throw some tanks in there if he's going to want to keep doing that. You're going to go back to there. I think we want to just keep you back to help make this a little bit safer, but this is weird, and it's just what came about, but it's all right. I'll throw an AA in one of these next time if I need, like in Southeast Europe. No one wants to stack and move to Southeast Europe, right? So I can non-combat with the extra guy after taking a AA in there and make him stack move or use air. This guy is going to come up here for him and him. This guy's coming back. I do want to make sure I pull my UK infantry back too, though. So that it's just Battleship 2 infantry versus 2 infantry. Otherwise, his Battleship 2 infantry cut off those guys, which even he may still try that even still because of what I'm going to do with UK. Okay. These two guys can come on over here. Destroyer's going to chill. Two for him, one for him coming back, plus him, or him. Okay. Yeah, this makes this a little bit awkward because now we only have the 3 infantry here because of the AAs, but I didn't have anything better to do with them, and it just the shucking just got weird. It is the most efficient way, and if we can mark these AAs across to somewhere over here, then so be it. They'll do something at some point. But it does mean our attack next turn, which I kind of assumed we're going to be weak anyways. We're only going to have a bomber, battleship, cruiser, and 3 infantry. So we're probably only going to be able to take like Southeast Europe and then get out of here. We'll see. Or maybe we take our toys and go to the India. All right, next thing. And we got our 6 infantry. I may have to double check some of my calculators because I wasn't planning on necessarily doing this, but I'm going to do this. We're going to take a 1-round shot at these guys. Should be profitable for us. And I think we're going to take a shot at that guy. Would love to get 4 hits. Shooting for 3. Love 4. That's what I didn't want to happen. There is a 5% chance of that. I took the risk on a 5% chance. Sigh. Okay, well, I guess it's back to the drawing board. I'm going to have to pause for a little bit and figure out what that means exactly. With everything, Mickey, you have to take it back. Dang it. Didn't want to lose my tanks that way, but I didn't want to lose my tanks that way. I'll just leave it at that. Crud. That's going to screw all my defenses up. Oh, I need to go back to the calculator. Dang it. Did not want to do that well. That 5% chance. Oh, come on. Get the hit. Get the miss. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute. I need to do some recalculations here. Okay, so we've got a crazy solution. We're going to give him odds on Moscow. How about that for an answer? Love it. Oh, that's just a horrible result of the strafe. So here, the quick talk of this. If he goes, he doesn't really want to take Moscow with Germany. He's got a strafe on Moscow. I don't remember what I wouldn't trust any strafe right now after my results. Well, let's see. What did we have? That would be of negative value for Germany if he went 3 rounds. But it also, if he went 3 rounds, would give him a good shot with 3 Japan infantry, a tank, and 5 fighters. I'm trying to pull it up here. I was trying to delay away, trying to find my thing here. But it would give him, here we go. So here's our calculator real quick. So a 3-round shot that he could do on Moscow would be negative value for him. Then, you know, depending how it went, would leave me with essentially nothing left in Russia. And if he got lucky, he could get it with just the 1 fighter living, right? Even a 2-round strafe to be safe is still negative value for him. That's a positive for it. And it would leave me like 5 guys sitting in there, and he'd have 3, 8, 9 guys that could attack. But before they go, UK gets to go. And so we could use a UK tank to blitz there, a UK tank to go here, fighters, all the fighters come back and land over here, and we even got our bomber down here. It would throw a kink in our plans for India, per se, unfortunately. It's a good thing we sent both those U.S. fighters over here, as it turns out. But yeah, ultimately, UK could save Moscow for a turn. Of course, he could push these guys in. These guys have to come. It would just be a mess. At the same time, I got to keep Kaza, so it's not just crush Kaza then. Regardless, I think I'm going to have to take the 1 tank and 4 fighter shot just to decrease the Kaza attack. Because that would be taking a 5 defense strength out, but taking out 6 attack strength, it is splitting hairs, but I think it's something I'll have to do or think about. So I do want to still, doing this will give me still the capability to at least push 2 of these units back, which will make India safe and maybe even be able to pull 1 or 2 units coming back to Persia. Not what I was wanting. I was wanting to get some more, but not a happy day. Not a happy day. This is why I don't strafe. This is why I never strafe. Why didn't I just follow my own rules? I saw a profitable strafe and thought, oh, it's the cool thing to do. All right. Okay, heading into round 5, Germany turn. We got bad news. UK's turn. In addition to us blowing the strafe with Russia, he took a shot, at the Sea Zone 3 fleet and wiped it out and only lost 1 fighter. I don't know. I mean, He said, in his comments to me, he felt like he needed to do something because he felt like he was behind. And here I've been feeling like I've been the one that's been behind. Maybe I misjudged it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I misjudged it. Maybe I was ahead. I don't think I was. So I was not expecting him to take that shot. He did. He won. I did go back and check, and I did have fighter before carrier. I should have switched that back to my normal defense fleet for U.S. since the U.S. was the one there. So that was partially my mistake as well. But I didn't expect him to take the shot. Or if he was, he would take the shot on this one because it was weaker. I mean, that one had the 3 transports, though, which is the big loss. And now he also did use his tanks, as I was asking him to. But unfortunately, when that means we're completely wiped and we don't have any transports to hit him with, that's not so good. So, yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm just going to keep feeding him units for these tanks to keep running. Hopefully I can build enough to pick him apart up here or get him cut off. If he keeps going this way, maybe Russia can cut him off. I don't know. I'm at a little bit of a loss, obviously, with, I don't know how he felt I was in a strong position, to be honest. Because he's going to have 21, 25 dead zoning these 2 zones, so it's going to be hard for me to even move in and kind of cut him off if he was to go ahead and just continue to wipe out the peninsula. But I can't just give him the peninsula for free. I got to make him work for it at the very least. The good news is I don't know if he caught that I've got my 5 tanks and 4 fighters that can hit West Russia. He only put the 1 infantry there, I think, thinking about defending against the air. I don't think he remember I had the 5 tanks here. So I'm going to take out his fighters, his Japan fighters at least. So it's going to cost me all 5 of my tanks, but I'll trade my 5 tanks for his 5 fighters. So we're gonna do that. But this game now is looking south very quickly. So I think this game might be over. We're gonna play a couple of turns, see where it goes. But I think we might be in some big trouble here. Hopefully we can just give him some things to think about. We're gonna mess around with his battleship over here, and I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. Not encouraged at all about this game at this point. So purchases. I want to get fleets up here, so I am going to build 2 transports. I can move my carrier with this fighter over to protect it from the bomber. We're going to go ahead and dump these 4 guys in here to his 4 guys. He could build the carrier and fly this 5th one up if he wants. I don't think he'd... I don't know. I say I don't think he will, but maybe he will. I got to keep testing him. So we're going to put these 4 right up here into a zone again, and we're going to have 2 transports in there, and he's going to either shoot it or he's not going to shoot it. You know, it's important that we take out these guys in doing so, though. So we're going to hit those guys. 1 transport's going to take 2 of these guys. 2 transport, that leaves 4. I'll have 3 transports, so I need 2 more guys to go in there. So that's 2 of these infantry. And then with the remaining money I had left, I decided to go ahead and get a couple tanks for down in India so that we can reinforce, since we're going to be blowing those tanks away. I've become a... This is something you're going to see if you watch some of my games. I have become a pretty decent fan of building tanks in India and in a KGF when we're trying to do a Kaza stack. Because you can get to Kaza and you can come back to India, free up some infantry to walk, and then get to Kaza, and you can just work them back and forth to keep units going up there and back and forth. So there we go. So we're going to build some more tanks. I used to think, tanks? Why are people building tanks in India? That's just silly. I like it. I like it in the KGFs if you're going for the Kaza stack. All right. That's what we're going to go with. No, I'm not going to suicide myself into going directly into them. I'm just going to let the infantry do their defensive thing. I'm going to put my 2 infantry. We'll build 2. We're going to drop 2. So we're going to put 6 guys here. He's going to just wipe them out. But hopefully that means we got 3 transports that we can continue to hit back at them and, you know, get something out of it. We will go ahead and take that for free. By taking out the 5 fighters, that takes out part of the pressure on India as well, so I don't need that 1 fighter coming down this way. So we're just going to do just a bomber attack. I think that's all of our attacks. I'm just double checking that I'm not missing anything. Of course, if I do get scared that he may attack, I could always, with the build here, instead of building infantry there, I could drop a destroyer or an extra boat here if I really want to, but I don't really want to. Alright, yeah, that's all our attacks. Bigots. 3. Can we just get some friendly dice? Why not? Of course they do. And this is just screwy. I don't even care at this point. No. Whiff, whiff, whiff. Why were those dice the first roll? Oh. Oh. Can we play a low luck game, please? All right. Well, actually, this is the acceptable result for me. So. Oh my goodness. I tell you, I'm a bit in a downer mood between. Stop it! Oh my goodness! I want low luck dice. All right, I apologize. I was just running a calculator there. I know it just jumped. The whole video just jumped on you guys. I apologize. But in any case, I'm building an infantry, 2 tanks. He's just got the 7 and 4 that he could attack with. So it's a 50-50 battle. And at this point, based on how the dice are doing me, I think we just got to retreat it. I just... So, whatever. Actually, it'll be... I didn't calculate in the extra artillery, so that'll be slightly in my favor, but... Man. I want to keep this bomber alive. We're going to move him on over here, move these guys over here, and we're going to bring this guy right on over here. So, you better believe I'll take a sub-bomber shot at him. At this point in the game, we will. So, we're just trying to slow his coming back this direction. That helps keep the cause a stack. Let them keep just bloodying me all up in that area. Just keep slaughtering my guys. Go for it. Alright. There it is. For what it's worth. This is what Japan and U.S. have roughly about the same amount of income, so we've fallen further behind 16 IPC. He's already up to 84 income, so we're in trouble. Okay, so it's time to start working on trying to rebuild the American attack somewhat. The good news is, since he doesn't have the 5 fighters, that lets us stack Kaza a little bit easier. He did bring his units together. That being said, I'm going to stay on this side of Australia because he can only attack with the 3 infantry and the battleship. If I moved over to this side, he could grab a 4th infantry and 2 battleships. So I might as well stay over on this side, make him work for Australia and New Zealand, make him take an extra turn here or there to get everything to get taken care of. One, 2, 3. I haven't really thought this through because I do feel this game is already kind of hopeless because of the Russian sacrifice and then the very successful bombing up here of my fleet. So I apologize. I haven't thought too hard on it. I think I'm only going to be able to build 1 transport because I got enough shucking to do. I'm building a carrier because I did realize I was going to give him 4 on 4, but I realized this guy can hit 2. 1, 2, 3, because he's got Finland. So that guy can hit 2. So we're just going to go ahead and build a carrier. We got this fighter, 1, 2, 3, 4, that can fly up there to give it a little extra protection. I'll probably go ahead and take this destroyer to 7 just to be on the safe side. He's making me have to be a little bit more conservative with the fleets, which is a win for him. That's money I'm wasting on boats instead of on men and planes. And men and planes is where the game's won. So, all right. Anyways, here we go. So the good news is Japan's been slowed. You know, Japan 5, I like to have already taken Hawaii, New Zealand, all of Australia, and Madagascar, and have another factory up and running already. So I definitely at least have slowed up the Japan fleet, and he's lost his 5 fighters, of course. So that's a win. But obviously the ally attack's been extremely hampered as well. So can't really say too much positive there. I think we might do a bomb SBR because we're gonna need it. If only our fighters could reach there too, right? I think we just need wherever we can take points away from them, we need it. That's what it kind of boils down to. I don't think I have any other attacks though. Eek. That stinks. There's bombers up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No J bombers. 1, 2, 3. So, because I'm gonna have a naked bomber landing here, I just wanted to make sure that he'd be safe. There's, you know, with his bomber up in Corellia though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he should be safe. Let's go. Let's see those 6s. Lots of dots, lots of dots. This game owes me lots of dots. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to upset the dice gods saying something like that. 2 hits. Woohoo! They're laughing at me and saying that's exactly what you deserved. Hey, here's what we are going to do, though. We didn't really have anything effective to do with these guys. So let's make Japan think a little bit. There's no real good, credible threat there, but we do have a cruiser battleship loaded carrier that can come right on back up to Italy next turn if we decide. Let's get all our moves correct. That said, I don't know that I necessarily want to. Yeah. Let's protect them. Shouldn't have to really do that, I wouldn't think, but... So we got 1 that can go there, but we only got 1 infantry for him. The reason I built all the guys is because I want these guys to be able to jump straight up, and this guy, so they're going to have 6 to come back to. So I need to build 6 now because I want them to be able to jump here and ricochet right over to that direction. Oh, don't want to forget him. So we need 6 for them. We need 2 for the one we're building. So we need 5 extra builds plus 2 over there. So how many did we end up building? 8. We needed 7. We were close. These guys are good staying in Kaza, protecting Kazi, because he can't hit my fleet, except for with a battleship, which I don't think he'd do that against 3 boats. So he's not a threat, and these fighters can go 1, 2, and then they can go anywhere where the carrier can go. So they don't need to be on the carrier right now. They can help defend Kaza one more turn. Of course, I put him on there, then I could hit Italy with him next turn, but I'm not worried about that. I want to make sure we got Kaza stacked. I want to be able to free up the UK planes if possible. Alright, that looks good. What does anything will look like? Oh, that's right. I was going to take him up there for helping attack Norway next turn. Because I can't hit Norway with my bomber now. That's what I was going to do. Yeah, well. Nothing we can do about it now. What do I want to do here? Jay's got nothing else there. Japan can't, Germany can't blitz, so we should be able to take him relatively heavily. Oh, what are we going to do? So, what are we building? We got 10. We're going to have 14. Hopefully 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. If we take him, that'd be 20. Might as well just save one. We don't have anything to really be attacking, so. Not. Let's live life on the dangerous side. Why not? What's the unlikely? Who's unlikely? Dah. What do they know? Good job, guys. Nice. Okay. Take that. Nice. Nice, nice. Good job, guys. There we go. All right, good dice rolling. Yeah, he's been getting hitbacks too, though. All right, wow. But we won the battle, so we'll take that for what it's worth. Got our hits. See, nice big whiff. And another hit back. Oh, he's got 2, 4, 1. Two, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? I think we're gonna put one more down there to be safe. We're gonna move a bunch of guys down here. I fully expect him to come back into stack West Russia, and it is what it is. Good news is these 3 guys are pretty safe because tank can't blitz, and maybe we can. Well, we probably won't bother with that. We'll see. We're probably gonna have to pull everything back into Moscow next turn when he comes back to West Russia. But it was nice. We won all the battles at least, so that's a positive. 21 IPC for next turn. That's a positive. All right. Oh, I guess if you want to see this, yeah, 182 to 154 after we did our turn. So yeah, not good. Okay, so on Germany 6, he bought 11 infantry, 2 artillery, kind of standard for Germany as we move along. I guess he stacked France. I thought he had France already stacked. My brain is starting to... Oh, wait, that's right. He went to Italy. Just moved back to France. Let's see. An infantry to Northwest Europe, sure. Took Norway. Oh, yeah, I had my little mini stack up there. Trying to trade as much as we can. I'll have to see how that went here in a second. And he moved back into West Russia. So we're going to have to restack West Russia. Let's see what we got here. We got 16, 22, 26, 27 units. 27 units. Let's see. We've got... Russia's going to build, what, like 9, 3, 4, 6 units. So we'll say 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 29, 31, 33. So we should be able to stack with just Russia alone. That's the most important thing. So yeah, so we won't need any to fly any. We don't need to put any other U.S. or U.K. in there. I don't think this turn. I'm not actually going to calculate it. We're just going to trust my eyeball. I doubt we'll be able to keep our Kaza stack after Jay's turn, especially if he moves these guys up as I expect him to. So we probably won't be able to keep our Kaza stack. Kaza's going to have to be let go most likely. We do need to keep a dead zone next is the next step. So we'll see if we can do that as the next process. He did keep Italy stacked. So there we go. And I got our little mixed fleet up here. We're going to keep things risky because we need to be risky. Looking on down here, what he could put into C-Zone 36 is 2 battleships, 2 carriers, 1 fighter, and then he'll have that destroyer he'll have to make a decision with. We can attack with cruiser, battleship, carrier, 2 fighters, a bomber, followed by my UK, which will have a 2 subs actually, a bomber, and 4 fighters zoning it. So we should have 36 dead zoned then for Jay's turn. So these guys, they could come down to Australia, of course. We'll have 1, 2, 3. Well, he'll take it. So we'll have a bomber and 2 subs. So he should be able to handle that pretty decently. And then the rest will need to come back over here. We'll have... Don't want to leave my bomber here. Don't want to leave my bomber up here. Bomber here, bomber there. Bomber here, bomber there. I think we're going to move our bomber back to India. I was going to leave him here so that if he put 3 infantry here, we could hit it and go. We could still hit it coming back and land on this side. Oh, well, we'd be okay because he wouldn't have any units to grab and hit that side the next time. So yeah, we're going to move that bomber back to India. So he's only got the 1 destroyer. We're going to put our hang our sub out to be potentially hit. I think we're going to park it in DEI where he really has no business putting his fleet. We'll have a sub and bomber to clean it up, and then he won't have any destroyers. So we are going to build us a sub to continue to try to be annoying down here in the fleet. Try to slow his development of getting Australia, New Zealand, getting over to Africa, and just in general create some slowing. Plus the 2 subs will put a little bit of pressure on C-Zone 61 with the bomber. So it'll keep him out at 36, and hopefully just kind of again slow things down over here. So now we just got to do our base calculations. We've got 2 more builds here, so we want to get 2 units on the ground up here. Up here we got 3 transports. We're grabbing our 6 guys, so we want to grab 6 guys. And so we've got 9 IPC to play because we're getting threatened up here by both sides. I want to get some tanks, so we can afford 2 tanks. We couldn't afford a fighter, an extra fighter. If we could have, it would have gone a plane right there. But I want to get ground troops down here. That leaves me 3 IPC. They're locked out. We could build some artillery instead of infantry, but we are going to have a whole bunch of planes sitting up here. So I don't think we need to build artillery because it may just go to waste. I think we're just going to add an extra infantry to save from buying next time. Guess I could have just saved the IPC altogether too. That would have made too much sense though. We don't want to do something smart. Nothing else to attack there. Like I said, we're gonna play aggressively here because I feel like we need to play aggressively here. All right. Let's go with it. All right, I just need to figure out, we can move this guy out, can't we? We don't need to keep him back hanging out there. Oh yes, these guys. So we were going to go ahead and move him back. So we're going to put him right there. I mean, he could do like destroyer, carrier, destroyer, battleship. He'll probably do like a destroyer battleship, but I don't know. We're just trying to mess around with him. See how much he is willing to play. I'm not giving it too much thought. What I need to see is I want to go ahead and back some of these ground up, I think. So I just need to double check what I need to be worried about. And I don't think it's too much. So these guys can't hit. So it's just 5 and 3. He can't hit. So 5, 3, and a battleship is all that he can attack with. So he'll be attacking 15, 15, 30. We're going to have 2 tanks is 10. That's 28. That's a 30 right there. I mean, we should be able to back just about everybody out, although we want to leave a little bit of coverage for the more expensive units. So let's actually take the calculator just so we make sure we don't do a stupid value bit here. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave 2 guys back. Let's see, 3, 6, 8, 9. You could put 11 guys there. 12 if he brings a tank back. I don't think he's going to. I think he wants to push the cause, so we're going to push all the way back. If he comes back this way, then that's just kind of a win for us, I think, because I think we should be able to, between the U.S. guys and fighters, we should be able to cover it, I think. So yeah, I think we're going to pull back. So that goes 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 units versus his 8 he could bring in a battleship. No bombers. I think that looks good. We do want to be fighters before carrier. because of Season 5 here. Actually, I guess we don't have to be fighters for a carrier, do we? Oh, well, whatever. Moving on. There we go. So, making them work here a little bit. Trying to put the destroyer somewhere where it doesn't really want to go. I would have loved to be able to get him to 30, but we couldn't quite get that far. 38 might have been a good one. He could have brought his destroyer and his boats as well as his transport still down here. So, we'll see. We'll see what he does. All right. There's that scene up here. Here's this scene. Oh, I forgot to check. Norway. He killed 4 infantry in a tank, lost an infantry tank. He's going to lose another tank. So 2 tanks and an infantry for 4 infantry in a tank. He slightly won that one too. So we did not do well on our trades up here. But, all right. Okay, so Japan 6 bought 7 infantry, 3 artillery, 1 fighter. So he's slowly building his fighter repertoire back up. Combat move, Tuxin Kang. Burma just walked into there because we blitzed it. Destroyer moved attacks. Oh, the destroyer took on the spot down here. And he took West Australia. So, as I figured, he continued to push strong right up the middle. With the German stacking of West Russia, I did a whole bunch. I did a bunch of looking here, and I could just barely stack Moscow and stock Kaza another turn. But beyond that, I mean, that's with all these guys moving in, so he could easily come back around to India, or if he keeps pushing, he's going to crack them the next turn, anyways. You look at the war report now. Granted, U.S. hasn't gone yet, so you got to keep that in mind. But war report, 209, 158. So, we're way behind. He's up to 81 income with his Axis. So yeah, I mean, this game's lost. I'm going to be, I'm not, there's still chances, of course, but in essence, this game is lost. So that just means we get the opportunity to have fun and do stupid, crazy stuff. Like Cruiser Block 36, battleship carrier to knock out the destroyer. Fighters can fly in. We take a shot with infantry tank on his 2 infantry. If we take DEI, then that'll be nice because we'll have them blocked. We'll have a battleship carrier. Actually, probably just 1 fighter. I don't even think I need both fighters. He'll only have 1 fighter, or actually 2 fighters. So this fighter can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, and he could move his carrier to catch it even with the block. He just has to send something to attack it. But he would have to send, like his battleship or a carrier to attack 36 in order for him to use 2 fighters and a battleship to attack 37. But we're going to clear out this destroyer, and we're going to take the sub-bomber shot on the battleship with the 2 carriers. That's probably the best part of the play. And so then he'll be down to a battleship, 2 carriers, 2 fighters left in the Pacific. So let's flip the game around. Why not? We're going to continue. We do have these 2 transports heading up to Sea Zone 3, so we will buy 4 units for them to come back to. We do have all these guys here, these 4 transports. 1 transport, 5 transports. There's 10 guys right here. We're going to grab them. We're going to make it 9. Because we're going to build a transport over here. And we've only got 1 guy to grab. So I want to make sure we have somebody in case we need to just go straight and skip him. So we are going to have 1 guy over here. I think we're going to take the artillery, actually. And so we're going to continue to push and pressure Germany some. The reality, they're probably going to knock out Moscow relatively easy, so I do need to get fighters in there. Good news is we got all these fighters sitting up here. We're just going to consolidate into Sea Zone 3 and 1 probably, and just do what we can up here. But like I said, meanwhile, If everything goes well, we'll just keep pressuring and attacking down this way. We'll probably do a UK build to add to it. We're going to do a 2 destroyer sub and a transport build on this west coast here. We do got to watch out for victory cities, so might as well grab a quick easy pearl at the very least. And if nothing else, we'll use these boats to harass Japan, make Japan buy a whole bunch more, slow them down, and who knows, maybe we go back to KGF then. I don't know. Like I said, this is grasping at straws time, so here we go. The big important battle here is the battle for DEI itself. This tank is the crucial component of it. Because they don't get any help. Can't use a battleship because of the destroyer. Bomber doesn't reach, unfortunately. Doesn't reach the land. I can only hit the boat, which I don't really need. Same thing with the fighters. The fighters can hit there, but they can't do any good. I know we're going to put at least one fighter here, so we might as well do that. Over here. Planning on moving this destroyer into here. 3, 4, so that would give us 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, how's that hold up against 3 fighters, 2 carriers? Do we need to bring that 1 fighter back, maybe? I mean, I just feel like we gotta take risks. So, what does his 4 fighter and a bomber against that look like? That should be like a 50-50, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, slightly in their favor. I think we still just got to take it. So otherwise, they could attack my carrier with 2 destroyers. So he'll have options. He'll have 2 options of both good choices. He'll probably hit C-Zone 3. Anyways, what can we hit with this? Gotta hit something good. Nothing that gets me going over this way. I want to go this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the heck? Just make sure we kill it. No dice gods. No one's there. Ooh, I didn't see it. There's any German bomber. Ooh, bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, bomber can't hit me. Can't clear the just cruiser block, not destroyer block. Oh, battleship, 2 carriers, 2 fighters. Battleship, cruiser, 2 fighters. It may be worth. I'll have to double check that just a stack and save my cruiser's life. Although then we got to worry about. Actually, we have to worry about India. I think we got to use the cruiser for a block, so he doesn't just scoop into India and get the victory cities. Oh wait, he won't get the victory cities because I would take Pearl. I don't know. Anyways, don't give me impossible. Come on, we need that. That's one we need. I think that should be like a 50-50, right? 4 versus 4, power, infantry, tank versus 2 infantry. That's got to be 50-50. Yeah, it's 50-50. Okay. Roll tank. I'm glad we got all that white dice out of our system. We need a double hit right off the bat. Roll tank. See if we take this, we'll have fighters in there. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, move on. All right, whiff, big whiff, big whiff, big whiff, big whiff. Yes, come on, tank, keep roll tank. Come on, tank. Finish the job. We want both you guys to live. Yeah, we want both you guys to live. Yeah, right. Roll tank. I'm very much not an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, by the way. But the phrase works for now. Okay, so I could actually bring my cruiser here with my 2 fighters and stack C-Zone 37 as long as we killed the battleship. But let's not say we did, because we're going to try and make... I haven't done the numbers. I haven't crunched the math. I haven't looked to see what it'll take. We'll fly fighters down to wherever we got to fly fighters down to make it happen. But we're going to try and dead zone C-Zone 36 from the battleship, 2 carriers, 2 fighters with the UK. I mean, we got a lot of stuff here. We got 5 units here. We can build 3, so that's 8 units. We're talking about 2, 3, 4, 5. Give battleship a double of 6. So they're going to have like 6 units there. So we should be able to dead zone it. So if he wants to kill this, he's going to have to send fighters and give me a 50-50 shot on a fighter, or he's going to send a carrier or a battleship, which he's not going to do one of those, right? So we're gonna go that route. Yep. I think we're good this turn, so we're just going to pull him on out. These guys might as well just take a hike. We got two up there. He takes a 1 shot at us. We get 3 hits back. Fighters live. We got this one that can come up into C-Zone 3 and be under protection. I think we're gonna go to defense. We're not gonna do fighter before carrier for these guys. We're gonna switch to a straight defense. Where's my defensive guy at? Oh, come on. Go away, screen. Where's my defense sub fight? My default. Oh, it's it's on it. Duh. Let's see. Although it's gonna go to UK, right? Because they got 2 fighters and a carrier versus US only having 1 fighter, so we're gonna have to put them both on defense. Oh well. We'll take it. Either way, we got either fleet that can combine, you know, can go to 3 to take over. We're making it fun at the very least. Even though there's so much G and J coming in, they're going to smother Moscow, but we can do what we can do. All right, I think that's all the US can do. All right. Dope. I forgot I was going to move one of the guys back there. Let's make sure we get one of them there. 3 transport, 2 destroyer sub. Meant to have the artillery so that we have a little extra firepower, but whatever. At least there's no guys on the islands right now, so maybe. I don't know. pray and hang on. That's your job, Russia. I don't even think it's worth sending a guy that direction for that one unit, but that he'll just smother. Might be worth going for the 2, though. What do we got going here? What do we got income-wise? 18. We lose a cost of 3 to grab 1, and they're just going to walk right in. You hate to just let a freebie go, though, right? You know? That's just painful to do. Maybe we get a hit back. Then it'd be worth 5 for our 3. If we don't get a hit back, it was worth 2 for our 3. I think we're just going to play conservative. Pull it in, guys. Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind because I don't have any AAs. That's the one thing he lost. So getting the 2 will give me an AA next time. So we're going to exchange infantry for an AA. That's combat. All right, so we got 26, 33 in here. He's got 11, 15, 21, 26. So we can leave the 1 infantry up here at least. Maybe he can not let him blitz for the 2 at least. And there we go. We do have, like I said, we got fighter supports that we can go. We can build fighters with these guys. So we're going to have to be UK and US sending fighters in to try to support Moscow as long as possible while we try to do our reverse pressure Japan and see if we can make anything sort of happen. Again, it's a last-ditch thing. We don't really have much hope here, but we're going for it. Okay, so Japan is refusing to buy a destroyer. Unfortunately, again, with the 1 less battleship and those 2 transports, we would be in so much better shape right now. But what did Japan do? I didn't even look at what Japan did. We don't want to look at that. We don't want to look at the war report. It's ugly. Okay, he bought 2 fighters, a bomber, and 3 infantry. So he's building air for his defenses. But no destroyers, so we're going to continue to try to take advantage of that to a degree as best as we can. As I suspected, he pushed in on Kaza. We are okay on the 1-2 for 1 more turn. Probably another turn. He doesn't have a whole lot coming in because we did slow down his reinforcements a little bit. And he did come down this direction, so, I mean, we're going to have to pull these guys back anyway, so it's not really that big. I mean, I didn't do calculations, but, I mean, he's got, what, 10 units he can hit me with? These guys are too far out of range, and I've got 8 dudes here that got to come back anyways. So, and we'll build a few guys, so we'll be okay there. What we are going to go ahead and do is, you know, we're looking at this KJF, right? So normally I want my first island by 5, hold on to Moscow till 8, and then see where we go. Well, we got our first island. You know, this is obviously not a normal KJF. So we got our first island and the factory going on it on 7. We're just going to forge ahead straight into a dead zone because we are behind. I mean, yeah, let's pull that war report. Here we go. So that war report, I haven't done my build, but 167 at 222. I mean, that's, 30-40% advantage. He's got 82 income coming in. I've got a little bit better on the income, but he's just way ahead on power. And we've got to take chances to try to make something happen. This is going to fall, and so we've got to do something. So we're just going to plug along and pretend that we're not dead zoned in C zone 47, and make him think we're just coming right on in, and we're just going to think that we are dead zoned or that we are stacked in C zone 47. They've got like it's like that 60-65% shot that they have, which a lot of times in allies, especially when it's a tight game, I'm just willing to give them because we have to. But we're going to bring these guys in as bait as well. The only difficult thing here is my transport. I don't really have anywhere good to hide him. Maybe up to 65, I guess, is at least something. 1, 2. Oh, I know. Even that's reachable, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 65 is even. So we're gonna have to come back down here to 55, which puts us a turn away from being able to get to doing anything over here. You know what? The more I think about it, because of that, I may need to go with the destroyers I was gonna build. You know what? We're going to have to drop 2 of these guys out. I was going to go subs, but I think we're going to have to go destroyers instead. He does have a bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these fighters can't reach, but this fighter can 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to have to take the risk of a fighter bomber versus 3 destroyers. Because I'm going to need that air cover. So we're just going to take that risk as well. We're all about taking risks. Here we go. Oh yeah, I bought a factory for DEI. Yay! Which does mean we're just going to bring these guys on in. We're going to take the Borneo option. Obviously, he's dead zoning Pearl Harbor very hard. Because we do have Karelia. The only threat here is the bomber. I don't have to send this fighter in yet. This destroyer needs to stay in C Zone 5 to help. Hold. I think that's all really. That might be all of our attacks. Can you do anything useful without just risking your life? Not really. Yeah, we're not going to go that direction. We need to keep you down this direction, so don't think we have any other attacks to do. Bummers. Like I said, we are going into this blindly. We do need to check defense profiles. All right, looks good. Blindly and pretending that this is a stacked zone. Now, what I was trying to decide is the bomber better off in India, or is he better off, you know, down over here, or not there, but into the DEI zones, where we could reach 44. I don't know that we'd really do anything with that. But if he tries to escape out that way, I guess. Up here, we could use them. Possibly for pressure on Corellia, although he should be able to stack that next turn. Well, you know what? Actually, we do got 10 units coming in there. You know what? We're going to leave them there. Because we do have these 10 units coming in. To there. These guys, we got to go back to here. We'll get him over there. So what we're going to do with these guys, we're going to move him up here, here. The reason I'm doing this is he's going to have to use air or put a carrier or battleship to trade him, which he's not going to really want to do that. At least have 3 destroyers. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This was the sub. So the 2 destroyers, I'd have 2 fighters that could reach over there and 3 destroyers, so I'll have 5. He could stack take one of those, I suppose. He could stack take 59 for that matter. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just playing. Go ahead and bring that guy on back. I mean, I could keep them back. The whole point is I want to create some targets for him other than Borneo here and put pressure on his guys. This guy's not really doing anything. Maybe we pull him back. Maybe we only do... Although, why would he want to go into 52, right? 52 is like the... Not really beneficial for them. So maybe we hold this guy back. One. So, I mean, he can... We'll take the shot at taking it out of boat. But being there, we would have 2... 4 and 1. That's 7 units that we could target there. He could move in 1, 2. We'll add another one, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be tight. I mean, it'll be favored him because he's got 2 battleships, but it's a shot I would be willing to take. If I put the bomber here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, bomber's not going to do anything there anyways. And that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable there. If he tests it, I do have sub fight because I think I'm going to need this C-zone to have the US profile with the sub to fight to, you know, stack my stack. That's not really a stack. I don't even know why I put them there. I should have been putting them over here and just kept my transports hanging out here, because a good thing with the, even though I can't shuck people, having these guys over here puts pressure on Berlin, so he's got to keep guys back on Berlin at least. I have no idea why I just dropped them over there. That was just silly. We are going to go ahead and get an AA because we got to get into turtle mode and it just adds up right, and we don't have any AAs. Don't believe we're attacking anything. The UK did our attacks for us. And hitting the 1 uniter, I'm not too stressed about. Although that does protect the 2 uniter. And maybe we will do that. Granted, he can blitz if he wants to, but if he wants to send a tank over there, so be it. It's not even really worth taking the freebie up there because he'll be able to take it next turn, and I really do need to be in defensive mode. Probably shouldn't even be doing this battle, but I'm just thinking if we can slave Vologda's income a little bit, or make him use a tank to take it. Seriously? This game does not like me. I can't I shouldn't have taken that battle. Oh, I'm not going to go back and run the calculators on how, if that flips anything. We're just, again, we're playing, and we're just going to accept the fact that he is now one less infantry than what we were planning on. And we're just going to load him up. There we go. Okay, I'm taking this turn fairly quick without doing too much work on this, because I don't, again, we're in a tough position, so we just need to keep this game moving, and I'm being a little bit slowed up because of real life. So, any case, all that said and done, one thing, the biggest thing right now is Japan and India. So he used his fighters to come through, and he hit my, I had an infantry, a fighter, and a bomber here, I believe. My U.S. bomber. I'm going to miss a U.S. bomber the most of all, unfortunately. But we are at 8 of 9 victory cities, and he's hanging out over here ready to plug away this victory city if I don't do something, because he could stack it. Obviously, I can't kill that. I can't kill the stack if he moves everything there. So he can stack Pearl if he wants to, and if he takes India, well, you know, it's game over. And the stacking Pearls from me taking it. So we got to protect the victory city, and that means India. So we have to get India, you know, back and stacked. So he's got 6 infantry, 2 artillery, a fighter, a bomber. Now, thankfully, the fleet and the transports are out of range this turn. Who knows about next turn? But the tank will be able to blitz through if I don't leave anybody there. At the same time, the good news is, you know, to get to the victory city stacks, he had to pull his Germans back out this way. Good news for a turn, again, because I'm going to have to really pull back, or he's just going to wipe all these guys, because I don't think I got enough guys coming in. All right, yeah, we just got 3 more guys coming in. You know, that's what, 15, 17, 18 guys, and he's got a lot. So, you know, we're not going to be able to, we're going to pull back there. Then he can hold this slightly, come back into West Russia, and then he's got a 1-2 again on Moscow. So, but possibility. I'm not saying he does. So I do need to kind of get some reinforcements at Moscow. But really, I think his play is next turn, move these guys down into here. He's got me in between a rock and a hard place with nothing that I wouldn't be able to hold it. And then he takes India and a wide open Africa and so forth, so forth. So, I mean, I can keep fighting and pulling victory cities, because if he comes to India, that means he's pulling to 36, and I can take Pearl. Maybe he can do both. Maybe he can take Pearl and come to 36. I haven't really done the math. In any case, all that's to say, I do want to keep, as we're transitioning this into a KJGF, we are going to continue to try to have as much units coming in on this side with the UK as we can. So the buy is 7 infantry and a bomber. Bomber down here just to help try to create some miracle shot at whatever we can take a shot at down here, which is probably nothing, but we're doing what we can do. Let's see, let me double check things real fast. So we'll have an AA, we'll have 2 infantry being drawn, 5 infantry, 2 artillery, we'll have a couple fighters there. And we'll have a bomber there. Just want to make sure that I'm not giving him too good a chance on India. I think I can give him like a 50-50 if he really wants it. It's like a 38% chance, which in his shoes he should not take. So, but if he just wants to end the game, maybe he will take it. And hooray for me. So like I said, India's going to get squashed. The question is, can I get Pearl, hold on to Moscow, or grab Philly or here, you know, to keep from losing by Victory City, because he's got these guys on lock. So to try that, we're going to try to keep our... Oh, we could hit from there too. I didn't even think about that. Do we want to hit from there? Do we need our air up here? Where's his fighters? Oh, his fighters are down there. We don't have to worry about them. That's right. So 1, 2, 3. And then we can land them back up there. That's cool. We got AD. Just a bomber can reach me, right? These guys are out. Just a bomber. Bomber would be able to reach up there. We got the fighter up there. So I think for at least this turn we're okay doing that. Oh, shoot. These guys. Actually, you know what? We're going to take one of these fighters off, after all. Come on, transport. Okay, got all that. We're not attacking anything else. We could do the 3v1, I suppose, but he's trying to come with 5 versus 3 possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't reach. Again, I don't know that he's necessarily going to go that way because it doesn't help him in the big picture, but he does have the possibility. What are the odds there? 80%. I think we just gotta allow it. I'd rather that than me doing a 3v1 because those tend to end in massacre. So we're just gonna ignore that for this turn. Alright. In that India battle where he air strafed, he should have lost one more fight or two per perfect odds, I should say. I shouldn't say should have. Perfect odds, he would have lost one more fighter. I keep trying to giving the dice gods a chance to get me back in the game, but they don't seem to want to. I'm giving him 60-70% shots on different things and hoping that something goes bad for him. Oh. Not bad for me. Come on. Ah, jeez. Here we go again. Come on. We need the whiff. Woo. Thank goodness. Jeez. That was important because, like I said, India's kind of done. So I want to get these tanks somewhere where they can be somewhat useful. Oh, sorry, wrong plane going that way. Dang it. Okay, I want you go that way. The other 2 planes are coming down this way with you. We did double check and I made sure that I have subbed to submerge solo, but not to submerge in a fleet on my defense profile. I honestly don't know if it's fighters before carriers or carriers before fighters. I didn't check that. That's not so important. No, dang it. Come on. Hey, give me the transport back. No, dang it. Give me the transport back. Let's jump in here. Alright. There we go. Drop the bomber. Couple guys here. Handful of guys over there. And I did give him the chance to blitz the tank through if he wants. Plus these guys, so he'll have 9, 10, 11 guys that can attack into there. I'm right at 11 guys. It's slightly in my favor. I don't think he's going to take that attack this turn because he can set it up next turn to be a guarantee. The question is, can I just grab another victory city or not? Just stay in this while I try to pressure Japan. So the next 3 videos in this series, I just recorded actually just a few minutes ago, a little earlier today. And I just went back and notice all 3 of them, the sound did not record on any of them. So we're going to go through these in sequence kind of quick here. I'm going to play as what I'm going to rehab what I can. So here we go. You saw that they did 4 fighters per purchase, which is a little bit surprising to me, but you can obviously see that they are setting up the victory city here, right? So India is squashed, nothing we can do about that. And they're going 6 infantry and a plane, both on Pearl and on Philippines. I was commenting I do have 4 destroyers, a sub, and 2 fighters that can attack C-Zone 53. But then I also go talking, okay, let's talk a little bit about the victory city. So we went through and just kind of showed how Germany has these on lockdown. I can't attack Italy regardless in turn 9, and the rest is on pretty much lockdown there already. And then I talked about maybe I can slide some transports over for future, but not really sure what we can do. And again, just pointing out that the numbers are just way out of control for me there. Nothing I can do there. I did say that I'm going to let UK end up taking out these guys. So the nice thing is carrier and 3 transports can get wiped out regardless. So we got the US and we got the UK that can wipe them out. So we're going to have a good go at AKJF here if we can pull something off and break this victory city lock. And I was just, again, going through the numbers. I don't have the numbers to take Karelia or anything there, so we're just going to have to back out of those. So, I talk about here, basically, he's got 6 in a fighter, where he has the 4 fighters in Tokyo that can land on the Philippines, as well as this 1 fighter over here that can also land in the Philippines, as well as a bomber that can land in the Philippines, and these 2 fighters that can land in the Philippines. Because I was considering doing a build on DEI and trying to attack the Philippines, but all I could really do would be 1 transport and 2 units, and they'd have all those fighters. But the Philippines, all that's on the Philippines is the... Oh, my screen just froze. This fighter can fly over. Yeah, I mean, maybe going through stills instead of the actual video playing. So anyways, this fighter can fight over in this bomber, but otherwise, if we can happen to take out this fleet, we'll be okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so I did talk about the option of trying to build DEI, but we're just not going to have that capability. And I'm just impatient here. Because I've already played the game. Or these turns. So, but yeah, no, somehow we have the factory there. Anything that we could do to try to break that would be a go. Nothing I could do is going to be able to build here and take on India. And he did have over here, he's got 9 guys here with all these fighters that can also fly into there. So Kiangsu, the Philippines, India, we really can't do anything about those. Nothing we can do about Tokyo, so it really comes down to Pearl. Can we get Pearl Harbor back? So just commenting that we can build N56 this turn to combat on round 9, and he doesn't have any other boats that can reach into here. So we really need to get this C-Zone 53 at the bare minimum down to 1 battleship left. Really, we want the wipe. It's like a 25% chance to wipe completely. We don't want any of his fighters to land on Pearl either, so we really want to we got to get through the fighters. If we get down to 1 battleship, we do have the 2 UK fighters over in C-Zone 47 that could potentially fly and clean up, so we'd have that ditch. And even if he just has a battleship and a bomber, we'll have a loaded carrier here and a battleship and a carrier here, so it's not, again, we're within reasonable dice gods odds for us. But if we get everything that we're looking at, we'll have decent odds at taking Pearl. Not going to say good odds. So we are biting 2 fighters, a carrier, and a transport for C-Zone 56. So that if the battleship lives and the fact that the bomber's there, it will have protection for our 2 transports. We're also getting 2 artilleries, to go with the 2 infantry. So we'll have 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 transports, 2 fighters, and the carrier here ready to go. I am going to go ahead and take the Solomons. That way fighters can't over in there in 59, and Philly can't hit over here. Plus, as long as we kill the carrier, we got free reign back to Philippines or whatever the next turn. Just double checking that I really don't have any good attacks over on this side of the map. I did say implausible. What's implausible? When you are fighting for your homeland and you're desperate, nothing's implausible. I talked about I need some good subs. I need some good surprise attack hits, but I don't need them necessarily on the first roll because it's the battleship that's getting hit. But we got it on the first roll. Nonetheless, we got 2 destroyers hit, so that wasn't bad. I did get a little confused because it looked like it applied. I lost track of how many hits I got. As you'll see, and it looked like it applied more to the battleship, like you took a battleship for a complete loss. And I was a little confused. So that 1 over the 2, it's actually both of them are damaged. I had to come back here and count how many hits did I get. And I got 4 hits, 1 for each battleship, and then the 2 fighters. But it was very confusing how it's showing it on the screen there, and then also how things kind of roll kind of quickly. It just looked like he sunk one of his battleships. And I was like, ooh, if he sunk a battleship, that'll be really good. But no, I was just counting how many hits I got, and the fact that it is actually first hits and then 2 fighters that got hit. But I was excited to have fighters over carrier. I was a little more worried about it being carrier first, because then if any fighters lived, they'd land on Pearl. So this was a case where I was kind of happy his defense profile was fighters before carrier. I did remove destroyers because we wanted that sub to get a good surprise strike here. because now the surprise strikes matter. And he misses. And misses. And we got one hit. And, of course, he got 2 hits. But we just need 2 hits out of the 3 here. So we got pretty good odds right now with the sub and 2 fighters attacking 2 damaged battleships. So we got decent odds here. And, of course, this sub strike missed and both fighters missed. And, of course, both battleships hit. It was looking so promising. We went ahead and threw it in there. We did get the hit. So that was nice, but he got the hit back, so it only was 1 battleship living. We were so close. That one round of 3 complete misses, just one of those hit, we would have been in great shape here. I don't even care about killing the transports in this case, because they couldn't go get anybody new, right? So the transports weren't even really a matter. It was all a matter of just needing to be able to kill that battleship. But we did not, so again, we're just going to have to test our luck. I now recognized that the 3 German fighters could attack C-Zone 47, so I'm like, well, do I leave the carrier here? Do I leave the battleship here? But then they killed the transport, which is important for getting Pearl. And, you know, already he's going to have... These 2 fighters cannot hit. And we're going to kill the carrier. So it was just a battleship bomber versus battleship or battleship carrier, and I really need that transport to live, so I decided to take the risk and hope that maybe he didn't think about attacking these 2 fighters and the fact that those 2 fighters could take out the battleship. So that's what we're going to shoot for. We're going to shoot for battleship carrier over here and a battleship loaded carrier over here and hope for the best. And then this is some of the other movements. Just rezoning up there. Everything going into that. And we're going for the squeeze and the hope and see what can happen. So we'll jump over to Russia. I skipped over it, but it was just all infantry buy. Knowing they're giving us a little bit of time here, so we figured we might as well try and take as much as we can, because he's going to have to sit up there if he's trying for a victory city. And we whiff, and he whiffs, and we whiff, and he hits. And we whiff, he whiffs, and we whiff, he whiffs. One more time. And we whiff. And he got a hit back. It's just kind of, you know, this game, I was commenting, I've been behind since the very R1. And I've been trying to give opportunities, giving him 60, 65% battles, hoping that we'll get the 30% or 20% and get a game turning. And I've taken the risk, like taking the 25% battle. Like I said, 25% in Pearl Harbor, by the way, was well above any of my expectations to win, right? So it was a no-brainer to take the 25% shot on Pearl Harbor, even if it wasn't trying to block the victory city. So, yeah, that was a no question to hit Pearl, because we were definitely further behind in this game. All right. That wraps up that turn. Just kind of reiterating that we did get to the one battleship, so it actually was a favorable result overall in 53. It was just frustrating that we got so close to wiping the battleship out and then had that big whiff of 3. All right, I'm going to jump to the next video here. So then we jump right into UK 9. Here we go. First thing I did is I said, yep, the Germans took out my carrier. Even if I had done fighters before carrier, he would have gotten one of the fighters, and one fighter wasn't going to be able to take out the battleship. I mean, I don't even know that I'd bother to have tried. I'd rather just let the battleship bomber luck go against my defenses anyway. So I was happy. You know, I lost one carrier to his 3 fighters, so the fact that he attacked, the results were good. I wish he hadn't attacked. But I'm not surprised. I mean, Jippy, General Jippy's obviously a very good player. I did want to make use of my one last buy here in India, so we're going to get us a carrier and a transport for India. We're going to go ahead and take Australia, take out the Philippine sea zone, and then we do want to make sure we're getting ground for up there. So we did want to go ahead and build out our attacking forces up there. He is down to just 1 German bomber, so I want to start spreading out my fleets. I mean, we are taking advantage of 2, but then I was talking about how we're going to go ahead and come down towards Africa with a 3rd fleet so that we can space out and try to take advantage of the fact that he only has 1 German bomber on the board. Looking at this, I notice he only has 1 Japan tank that can reach and no Air Force. So we might as well try and take a couple things in force. And since this is turning into a full KJF, we really needed to eat up some of this income of Japan's anyway, so we're going to do what we can there. And then we got a bail, so we're just going to go ahead and swing at these guys, realizing I don't have the odds, but what the heck. And just do what we can to take away income and take away pieces off the board, playing as if we're going to escape the victory city, because we got to have that mentality as we play, you know. We got to continue to take the turn as if we're going to make a buy, and so we want to do that. It's a safe kill. And I go, wow, what big whiff. But he whiffed too, so that was good. It was like another whiff of 3. How did I do that again? But the end result was good. So we got two with 2 tanks, so he's only got the 1 Japan tank that can attack, and we'll be able to put a Russian infantry to block the Germans. So, I was pleased with that. This battle was more of a battle they're going to get killed anyways. Might as well try to do something productive and take away units in a better way than just have them sit there and get squandered. And I said, oh, that white again. But we got 2 hits to his 1 hit, so there's a lot of white for him. And then we had a nice big 4 hits. And then I was like, wait, I want these dice in the pearl. And then he got 3 hits back. I was like, I want those hits in pearl or in the defensive pearl. Save those dice. 1 hit to his none, and I'm like, man. I didn't actually run the odds on this. I know he was favorable, but we ended up getting good odds. I just wish we could have had those in Pearl Harbor last turn, because that's where we really needed that. So it's not that the dice never return to me. They're just not returning to me in the write battles yet. I said, here goes that super sub. Yeah, that was nice. So again, nice favorable dice. All 3 of my guys hit. And I'm just going, why? Why now? Those are easy wins. I need the dice and the hard wins, not the easy wins. So that was a really good round for UK, to be honest. We just wish we could have used our fighters to attack the battleship. But all in all, the battles up in Russia were really nice, and Burma was really nice, and Philippines went smoothly. So Australia went smoothly. It was a good round. I mean, you look at this board, and if we can survive and the round 9 victory city, we're in good shape then, because Japan doesn't really have very many boats. Now, they do have a lot of ground forces, which means they're going to have a lot of opportunity for coming back to Moscow and doing a 1-2 and let Germany take them. So I'm still, behind in the overall picture, but we're definitely way ahead in the Pacific, as long as we can get through Pearl. Especially with our extra carrier there in India now. And we got 4 fighters, a bomber, sub, and a loaded carrier for UK. And then we got the US. And Japan has a lot of air in the area, but we got a lot of defensive as well. So not a bad position. We just need the Pearl Miracle to come through. All right, next video. And I said, well, he wiped out my battleship carrier and a transport there, unfortunately. And his bomber lived. Well, he saved his bomber. He sunk his battleship so that his bomber could come in there, which means we're down to 4 ground, 2 air to try to hit 6 ground and 2 air of his. So not great odds. But it's not completely horrible odds. I've seen worse. So we're going to push right on in. We're going to need some good odds, but at the same time, we're talking about we still got to continue to play this as if we're going to win. So he does have a lot of air, so I want to go ahead and get a fighter and loaded carrier down there in DEI, and then get our factory up in Borneo. Because I was expecting to have to lose my 2 fighters in Season 56 to take Pearl, so we want to get repairs going. I double-checked here to see if there was any Hail Marys that we could do down in this area, and there really wasn't anything even worth trying the Hail Mary, right? So, nothing going there. So, here we go. Six versus 8. Not the greatest odds, but at least we got those artilleries in there. And about now is where I said, okay, 5 hits first round. That's what we need. 5 hits in the first round, and then we're going to have a shot. Right, here come those 5 hits. And whip everything. So, of course, the bomber hits. And they got 5 hits. And I think that says it all right there, right? I'm like, okay, it doesn't even matter. I don't even need to try to save 1 land. It's kind of pointless. There's no way 1 artillery is going to beat 8 units, so I didn't bother trying to keep the artillery. Yes, it would have been smart because that's what you should have done, but it was pointless. So I just wanted to get it over, and that's going to wrap up the game. So this game, when you flip back through it, overall I'm pretty pleased with how the game went. I think it was a unique game. It was a fun game. You know, from the very get-go, from R1, we were behind with the 3 infantry in West Russia. I'd rather have nothing live. You know, only my 2 fighters live on Ukraine, and have 7 infantry in West Russia, than to have 3 infantry in West Russia and have 3 tanks and artillery live in Ukraine. I mean, West Russia, the remaining infantry is very, very critical. You know, and 3 is like the lowest I even bother trying to. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'll play anything, but 3 is like the lowest I think I even have any prayer at. So we were constantly trying to find ways to be creative, and you know, throughout the videos you saw, we tried offered him different things. He smartly played. He went for those 65% shots because, well, he needed to, and he ended up getting them. And then when I took him, I just couldn't get that edge. I needed a couple dice battles to go my way to come back. But we did make some creative play getting into the Pacific, and got some unique positions in here. Had that shot on 46. That was the final most critical battle. It was a 50-50 bomber sub versus the battleship and his carrier or his transports in there. Had we sunk those, then this ending would have been a whole lot different right here. So that was a final blow. That was just a 50-50 that just did not go our way, unfortunately. And then that battle, the Battle of Pearl Harbor sea zone, came so close, teased me, and then it just collapsed. So there we go. Again, General Jippy is a phenomenal player, so I'm happy to have managed to make this a 9-round game that was, you know, a toss-up right up into that season 46. I wouldn't say toss-up. It was still competitive up into the season 46 battle. If we had won that, then it would have gotten really interesting. So, but we were always behind, just could not find a way to catch that up. So, all right, there we go. Hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully the next video series we can pull together a win again finally.